Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. We start with breaking news from Grand Blanc, Michigan. At least 2 people are dead and 8 others are in the hospital after a shooting during a worship service at a Latter-day Saint church this morning. Kaylee Marintet is live at the scene. Kaylee, what's the latest from police?
Michael, we are here in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan. That is about an hour northwest of Detroit. We are here because around 10:25 this morning, officers got a call that a man, 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford of Burton, which is just the town over, ran his truck into the front of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That call came in just before 10:30 this morning. We heard from a press conference at 5 o'clock with the Grand Blanc Township Chief that officers responded quickly and shot the suspect at 10:33. Again, the suspect has been identified as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford. We are still trying to learn more information about this gunman. Right now, authorities are executing search warrants at the gunman's home and through phone records, trying to find a motive here. To give you some background, earlier this morning, after he rammed his truck into the front of the church, he opened fire at the hundreds of people who were there for service. Police did confirm with us that 10 people were shot, 2 people have died, 7 people are in stable condition, 1 is in critical at the moment. We are still learning more again about the situation. The investigation is still ongoing. After he got inside, he did intentionally start a fire inside of the church. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly how that happened, but they do believe the suspect acted alone. Earlier, we did hear from the chief that they expect to find more victims that were trapped inside of this fire. We did not get any updates on that situation at 5 o'clock, but we are expecting another update from the chief and other responding agencies at 8 o'clock to learn more about this fire. We did also learn that obviously the community is grieving here. This is something that the supervisor said this doesn't happen in their community. They are offering services at Genesis Athletic Club for some of the people as this community continues to heal from this situation. We'll continue to follow this story and have this press conference live streamed at 8 o'clock. I'll also bring you updates tonight at 11. Reporting.
All right, looks like we lost Kaylee, but Kaylee, thank you very much for your reporting. Now let's turn things over to meteorologist John Birchfield with a check of our forecast. John, we've had some beautiful weather this weekend. Is it going to last into the work week?
Yes, it is, Michael. The sunshine and warm weather continuing into the upcoming week. It's going to feel a little like summer as we head towards the final days of September. Highs are going to be in the low to even the mid 80s for your Monday, well above average, about 10 degrees warmer than normal. We're still in the upper 70s over the course of your Sunday evening, making for a very pleasant setting. High pressure over the Great Lakes does keep sunshine around into the start of the week. And while the weather's quiet here, we do have our sights still on the tropics. Hurricane Humberto still a major hurricane with that eye very distinctly visible. It is down to a Cat 4 after reaching Category 5 status yesterday, but still packing a punch with gusts up to 175 miles an hour. Now, Tropical Depression 9 has ramped up to a tropical storm named Imelda, only 40-mile-an-hour winds, and we are getting some new data on the track. It is going to be moving north, although I'm going to break down the full track and potential impacts to the coastal United States coming up in just a bit. Locally, sunny and warm weather continuing Monday. High temperatures expected to be in the low to even the mid 80s. Out the door, there could be a little bit of fog with upper 50s for the bus stop, and those afternoon highs feeling like summer. I'm going to break down your full 10-day weather forecast into the start of October coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, John. New today, police went on a chase through Sandusky County early this morning. According to the Sandusky Register, officers tried to stop a car on Milan Road, which led to the chase. Police say the pursuit ended after the car hit a sign at a roundabout on Bogart Road and landed in a field. The driver was arrested, but charges have not yet been announced. 3 members of a popular reality TV family are dead after a crash in Ellington Township, Michigan. The show, TLC's Meet the Putnams, confirmed the news earlier today. Deputies say 8 family members were inside a Jeep that was struck by a semi on Friday night. 3 died and 5 others are in the hospital with serious injuries. Today is the birthday of the late Zane Disher, the 24-year-old that was killed in South Toledo in October of last year. Disher's shooter, Elijah Garza, was charged with murder and felonious assault and was sentenced earlier this year as well. Today, September 28th, would be Disher's 25th birthday, so today his family and friends came together for a celebration of life honoring his memory. Our reporter Dominique O'Neill was there today, and we'll have more on the event coming up tonight at 11. The city of Portland, Oregon is preparing for the deployment of troops to protect immigration and customs enforcement facilities that the president says are under siege by Antifa. Christian Benavides reports on the growing tensions over the administration's immigration crackdown.
Overnight, protesters, including some who faced off with officers, gathered in front of an ICE facility in Portland as the city prepares for the deployment of troops by order of President Trump, who said he authorized the use of full force if necessary to protect ICE facilities, which he says are under siege by Antifa.
Have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look at what's happening in Portland? It's, I mean, this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control. They're crazy. We're going to stop that very soon.
The deployment is on the heels of last week's shooting targeting an ICE facility in Dallas, where a gunman shot at detainees and agents who were in a van. Bullets found near the scene included ones that the FBI said had the words anti-ICE. 31-year-old Miguel Angel Garcia, a Mexican national, was shot 8 times and is on life support.
I'm so tired. Like, I'm tired of being strong, you know.
Stephanie Goffney, a U.S. citizen, is Garcia's wife. She is pregnant and they share 4 children. She says Garcia was going through the citizenship process when he was arrested for a DUI and picked up by ICE. Tensions have been running high over immigration enforcement. Outside a suburban Chicago ICE facility, federal agents used tear gas and pepper balls to disperse protesters. Several people were arrested. In New York, this federal immigration officer seen shoving a woman to the ground in a courthouse has been placed on leave. Back in Oregon,
there is no insurrection, there is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city.
the state's governor said troops should be dedicated to what she calls real emergencies. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
The National Guard is also set to arrive in Memphis this week as part of the Trump administration's crackdown on crime. Back here at home, more than 2,000 people flooded the streets of downtown Toledo this morning for the 32nd annual Susan G. Komen Northwest Ohio Race for the Cure. From first-time racers to runners of more than 18 years, everyone came together for the fight against breast cancer. Reporter Faith Zakowski has the story.
Go! I was diagnosed in 2007, and 5 days later was the race. So I've been at every one since then.
For breast cancer survivors like Rainey Robinson, Sunday was more than just another weekend morning in downtown Toledo. It was about support and hope. The 32nd annual Susan G. Komen Northwest Ohio Race for the Cure brought together first-time racers.
This is the first time I've ever wore pink.
And longtime veterans of the race.
It's been 18 years for me since I was diagnosed, and I've had a wonderful support system. The hat is a staple. I had a friend make it when I was first diagnosed, and it's the only day it's worn, so this hat will be here every year I am.
My hat today shows that I support my friends that have lost their beautiful hair, and today I'm supporting my friends.
1 in 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. This year's race raised more than $200,000 for advocacy, research, and action. That money doesn't just support those with a diagnosis, but it also makes early detection available for all.
And if it hadn't been for watching, paying attention to it when I was diagnosed, the self-exam never would have been done. I wouldn't be standing here.
But no matter what title was worn Sunday morning, everyone came together for a common goal: to raise hope and lend support to anyone fighting their toughest battle.
But they're my best friends, and I'm here with them today. This is the first time I've ever been here, and guess what? I'm feeling it.
And if you're in there walking the race and you're struggling, there's people behind you that'll come up and give you a tap and tell you to keep on going, that you got this. So everybody does help everybody out here.
To see this and to see the continued caring and support means a lot more, honestly, than it's hard to explain. It means everything. And for me, it means my life.
Reporting in downtown Toledo, Faith Zakowski, WTOL 11.
Also today, Maumee's thriving film scene is on full display. More than 70 locally produced works, including short films and feature-length productions, are being screened at the Maumee Indoor Theater. Local professionals will also be hosting workshops for aspiring filmmakers throughout the entire festival. Participants say it's a great way to showcase the region's filmmaking talents.
The film community in Northwest Ohio is amazing, and it's especially great to get everyone together here to watch some films together, network, meet, and talk about the things we love to do.
The festival continues into the evening and wraps up at 10 p.m. tonight. Don't forget to mark your calendars for one of the most beloved festivals in Northwest Ohio. Grand Rapids Apple Butter Festival is happening on October 12th. You can expect historical reenactments, handmade crafts, live music, and of course, apple butter with the same recipe since the 1970s. Again, that's Sunday, October 12th from 10 to 5 over in Grand Rapids. And in sports news, it's Sunday, and that means NFL action. This week, fans got treated to a rare regional matchup, the Lions versus the Browns. This is the first time these two teams have played since 2021. The Browns came off last week's improbable win over the Packers, who the Lions lost to, but Cleveland couldn't conjure up the same magic. Detroit beat the Browns 34-10. The Lions improve 3-1 this season, while Cleveland drops to 1-3. Want to see more breakdowns of viral trends and 60-second stories? Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Let's go ahead and get things over to John with a full look at our forecast. John?
Thanks, Michael. It is going to be a mild and sunny start to the work week. We'll keep the ball rolling on these warm conditions that you felt this weekend. Highs are going to be in the lower 80s Monday, well above that normal high that is now down to 73 degrees. Temperatures right now very warm to the south and southwest of Toledo. We have many spots in the mid to upper 80s. Putnam County, the warm spot, although there is a bit of a lake breeze developing and temperatures dropping to the 70s across the metro out towards Oak Harbor and Sandusky. High pressure to the north of us is going to keep sunshine around for a good chunk of the work week, and also above average temperatures that are expected. Now, while the weather's quiet here, we do have sights still on the tropics. Hurricane Umberto now down to a Category 4, but still a distinct eye of that storm. No impacts to the United States expected other than Bermuda seeing hurricane storm force winds, and we're going to see that tip up to the east, eventually staying out to sea. Now, another tropical system. This was a tropical depression yesterday, now named Imelda, with 40-mile-per-hour winds. So it is a low end or a weak tropical storm system right now, and Imelda is expected to shift to the north. Now, based on some of the latest data, we are expecting this one to remain offshore, potentially reaching hurricane force status. But you'll notice there's Georgia, South Carolina, well away from those states. In other words, the latest model data is in an optimistic direction for minimal impacts to the contiguous United States. The strongest winds are expected to remain offshore. That bright purple color shows you a 90% chance of tropical storm force winds, and you'll notice this is all over the sea, and it's expected to tip out to the east and curve away from the Carolinas. So the impacts are expected to be less than they were just about 24 to 48 hours ago. Locally, sunny and warm weather expected into the start of the week. We're going to be in the low to even the mid 80s for your Monday. Low temperature is going to be in the upper 50s. A little bit of patchy fog possible out the door. Afternoon highs well into the 80s, although an east breeze is going to create a cooler setting near the lakeshore. Next 4 days, we do feel that east wind pick up midweek. Tuesday, we're going to be down to the upper 70s, and Wednesday, lower 70s. That is going to be the breeziest day this week, with east winds possibly gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. Thursday, turning a little calmer, but still feeling cooler with temperatures in the 70s. There's those tropical cyclones on Umberto and Imelda, and we're going to be tracking those staying well away from land. However, we are going to be stuck with that high pressure system delivering east winds through the middle of the week. Here's a look at Wednesday afternoon, seeing those winds